Good morning, breakfast clubbers, and welcome back to the channel. So we're going to go experience a Sunday morning breakfast in a pub. Hope you enjoy. So yes, I'm here today at the Noble Combe, part of the Hungry Horse chain of pub restaurants. And I'm trying out one of their brekkie classics this morning. I've opted for the medium breakfast, which goes by the name of Super Special Breakfast, with a base price of £6.99. For that, you're getting 2 pork sausages, 3 rashers of bacon, 2 fried eggs, mushrooms, beans, 3 hash browns, and toast. As we're finding more and more nowadays, black pudding and fried bread are optional extras, so I've added black pudding, and while fried bread isn't mentioned anywhere on the menu, the staff have confirmed it's still available if requested, so I've added that too. Strangely though, there's no option to add tomatoes of any kind here, even on request. And although tomato of some shape or form will definitely not be missed by me, it will go down as a docked point later on when it comes to the scoring. Drinks are extra, with tea at £1.50 or coffee at £2. Before we get started then, let's have a quick recap on the current top 10 leaderboard. Will the Noble Combe shake up the standings today? Let's tuck in and find out. Yeah, that's great, thank you.
Welcome, and of course,
The breakfast.
an amazing
Cheers,
day.
pal. As usual, we kick things off with a score for the presentation. Well, first up, thankfully we've got a plate big enough for all the food this week, albeit the fried bread has come separate. Nothing particularly special to look at here, and my only real gripe would be that the beans are dumped in the middle, with the juices starting to creep into the other items. Not a deal breaker, but it does lose its some polish. Score, 6 out of 10. Next up, the toast. A really fresh single slice here, toasted to my personal liking. Could have been a bit warmer, but the butter spreads well and it's held up nicely overall. Not winning Toast of the Year awards, but enjoyable nonetheless. Score, 7 out of 10. On to the beans now, and here's where things get interesting. Right before I was served, a couple at the next table got straight up after their plates landed and marched up to the bar, clearly not happy. When my waiter arrived, I asked what that was about, and apparently they were served cold beans and mushrooms. Well, I definitely can't say the same. The heat from this plate was noticeable as soon as it hit the table, and the beans were piping hot. No complaints there. Good taste, decent portion, sauce a tad on the runny side, but nothing we can't mop up later. Score for the beans then, 7 out of 10. Moving on to the fried bread, and this was a surprise. We've got what looks to be a slice of fried wholemeal bread, which I've never come across before. Doesn't look like much, but it has a great crunch. It's less oily than usual, and actually tastes brilliant. Completely caught me off guard at this. Looks were definitely deceiving. Score, a very worthy 9 out of 10. Now over to the mushrooms, another item that's kept its heat well. They're cooked nicely, there's plenty of substance, but there's a kind of uniformity to the size and cut that makes me suspect these are tinned rather than fresh. Flavour wise, they're a little flat. A bit of pepper goes a long way here. Score, 4 out of 10. Let's have a look at these fried eggs now then. Solid whites with some nicely coloured yolks. That said, the yolks are maybe a bit overdone. Part of that might be because I didn't get to them straight away, but not entirely. They still pair nicely with the toast and the fried bread, even if there's not much yolk to dip into. Score, 6 out of 10. On to the hash browns. We've got 3 hash browns here as standard, which seems a bit generous to be fair. They're thicker than the average, with a nice crisp and golden colour on the outside. Unfortunately, the inside just doesn't live up. They're lacking flavour and structure, and it's mostly just tasteless mush in the middle. Score, 4 out of 10. Next up, it's the sausages. Now these do look like your standard catering sausages, but once again, looks can be deceiving. They're cooked perfectly and have a pleasant herby flavour to them. Nothing fancy, but a definite solid effort. Score, 6 out of 10. Let's talk black pudding. We've got a fair sized slice, served hot, but it looks a little dry, and that's something that's confirmed once you cut into it. There's not much moisture, the edges are tough and chewy. There's some flavour here, but the overcooking really lets it down. Score, a sorry 2 out of 10. Now to the bacon. 3 thick rashers of bacon with a really nice crisp on the edges and a good sear on that fat. Slightly greasy and a touch dry in places, but they're still packing loads of that proper bacon flavour. Score, very respectable, 7 out of 10. On to value for money now. With a base price of £6.99, this sits in similar territory to Wetherspoons, and in terms of food quality, it's a fair comparison. That said, you're actually getting more for your money here, with extras bringing it just over £9. I'd say this still lands in the not bad value at all territory, which is why we're giving this a score of 8 out of 10 today. Moving on now to the missing items, and as I mentioned earlier, there's no tomato offered here. not even on request. Now, I might not personally miss it, but fair's fair, and that means we need to dock that 1 point. So we'll throw all those scores into our number cruncher, and today our total point score is 65 out of 110. Now, putting that into a percentage for our final Breakfast Club score, and the Hungry Horse's Noble Comb here in Shipley comes out at 59.1%, which puts it just ahead of what Tesco's Cafe scored from last week, firmly in the middle of our average bracket. So with that, the updated top 10 leaderboard sees Tesco's Cafe stay cut short, as today's breakfast squeezes in at number 10, nudging Tesco's effort off the board entirely. A real mixed bag, but plenty to talk about on this one. The fried bread was a star player today, while the black pudding and hash browns definitely held things back. Still, for under a tenner, there's value here, especially if you're hungry and not too fussy. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and if you've had better Hungry Horse breakfasts than this one, I'd love to hear about it. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time on the Full English Breakfast Club, where we'll be back on the road in search of the perfect full English breakfast. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. So that was our breakfast at Noble Comb this morning. I've got to say, I actually enjoyed it. It's the first time I've had wholemeal fried bread, and that was an experience. It's quite tasty. So if you've got one of these Hungry Horse pubs by you and you've not experienced their breakfasts yet, then it's well worth giving a try. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.